Khafre wanted to show his dominance and power over not only the physical landscape in which the statue stands, but also over the people of Egypt during his reign.
The body is long, it's tall, and the head is quite out of proportion. A trained sociologist and British writer, Graham Hancock has worked as a journalist for many years. However, what he has become more popular for are his controversial scientific theories, which many regard as conspiracy theories. From pseudoscientific theories that explore ancient civilizations to extraterrestrial interactions with ancient humans, Hancock has proposed unconventional ideas that challenge mainstream historical accounts. What is so special about these theories that mainstream scientists have labeled them as not factual? What will these theories tell us about historic civilizations? Join us as we explore the 10 craziest conspiracy theories by Graham Hancock. One of Hancock's most popular works is his theory on the Hall of Records, believed to have been a library in ancient Egypt. However, this Hall of Records was unlike today's usual library. It is a mythical ancient library believed to hold the knowledge of a lost civilization. This library is a knowledge repository containing thousands of prehistorical texts that served the nobles of ancient Egypt. Hancock postulates not only a theory about the existence of this library but also its location. He believes the mythical library is located in the Sphinx statue on the plains of Giza. The exact location of the library is unknown. Nevertheless, Hancock opines that the library is hidden in a secret chamber inside the Sphinx monument. We wouldn't have discussed the ancient Hall of Records today without Edgar Cayce. It was Cayce who suggested the existence of this mythical library, writing that the Hall of Records holds the knowledge of Atlantis, stored on tablets or scrolls documenting their advanced technology, history, and spiritual practices. Hancock is resolute in his hypothesis that the Hall of Records is hidden in a yet-to-be-discovered chamber in the Sphinx. He bases his argument on seismic surveys in the area that point to underground cavities near the Sphinx. Furthermore, he references local folklore that hints at underground chambers, rooms, and passageways around the Sphinx. Hancock's theory becomes more intriguing when he addresses the question of who constructed the ancient library. According to Hancock, the Hall of Records was built by the survivors of the lost city of Atlantis, who wasted no time recording the history of their long-lost civilization. Another of Hancock's theories that has garnered attention is his research on prehistoric art suggesting the presence of supernatural entities. He explores this theory in his book Supernatural: Meetings with the Ancient Teachers of Mankind. In the book, he examines the world of cave paintings and questions the existence of the beings represented in the ancient artworks. Hancock focuses on studying therianthropes, human and animal hybrid beings prevalent in prehistoric art. These beings are often linked with shamanic traditions where spiritual intermediaries enter an altered state of consciousness and interact with the spirit world. Hancock argues that the depictions of therianthropes in ancient artworks are not mere coincidences or artistic creations. Instead, they represent extraterrestrial interactions with humans. He further points to hallucinogenic plants among different cultures, whose consumption could have triggered psychoactive effects on ancient people. Hancock believes that extraterrestrial entities interacted with humans when they used these psychoactive plants because they were in an altered state of consciousness. A comet hit Earth about 12,800 years ago, leading to a global catastrophic event. As is typical of Hancock, he delves into this event, documenting it in his book Magicians of the Gods. Hancock posits that the comet strike led to a cataclysmic event that destroyed advanced civilizations of the time and drastically changed Earth's climate. This theory aligns with the Younger Dryas boundary (YDB) impact hypothesis, which suggests that a historical cooling event known as the Younger Dryas was caused by a comet or meteor impact. According to Hancock, this period saw a rapid return to glacial conditions in the northern hemisphere after the last ice age had ended. The event caused massive disruptions to plants, animals, and human societies. But Hancock doesn't stop there. Advancing the hypothesis further, he describes how the comet's impact destroyed an advanced prehistoric civilization. As you might guess, this is likely the same civilization linked to his theories about Antarctica, Atlantis, and the Sphinx. According to Hancock, the remnants of this lost civilization can be found at various ancient sites worldwide, such as Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. This site, dating back to 9600 BCE, coincides with the end of the Younger Dryas and is characterized by advanced stone architecture and complex carvings. Hancock also suggests that the knowledge of this lost civilization was transferred across generations. Part of this theory draws from myths and tales of massive floods across the world. Hancock believes these flood memories might represent a collection of catastrophic events that led to the demise of an ancient civilization. Hancock has also extended his research to one of the coldest regions on our planet, Antarctica. He has proposed a theory about what lies beneath this frozen continent. Hancock believes that underneath the ice layers of Antarctica lie the remnants of a long-lost civilization. He elaborates on this theory in his book Fingerprints of the Gods. According to Hancock, there is a strong possibility that Antarctica is the site of the mythical Atlantis. His theory is based on the idea of Earth's crustal displacement, a geological theory suggesting that the Earth's crust can move over the liquid layers beneath it, thereby shifting the geographical locations of continents. Hancock posits that a historical event 12,000 years ago shifted the temperate continent of Antarctica to its current polar location, causing its sudden freezing and encasement in ice. Predictably, this theory did not sit well with mainstream archaeologists and historians. However, Hancock supports his claim by referencing the Piri Reis map, which depicts Antarctica's coastline without ice. He argues that a previous civilization had passed this knowledge down before Atlantis was covered in ice. To everyone who cares to listen, Hancock often describes an advanced ancient civilization on our Earth several millennia ago, which became extinct after being submerged underwater. This theory draws support from mythical tales about a long-lost city passed down across civilizations, and they are still told today. Furthermore, he believes that the survivors of this ancient Atlantis city likely influenced other civilizations such as Egypt, the Americas, and Sumer. He believes that the sophistication of the ancient monuments worldwide is proof of the astronomical development of the lost city of Atlantis before it became known as Antarctica. Graham Hancock got called out again when he postulated an unconventional theory about the pyramids of Egypt, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza. Contrary to the widely accepted theories of historians and Egypt apologists, Hancock believes that the pyramids are much older than we believe. According to Hancock, we shouldn't credit the construction of the pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, to the ancient Egyptians of the 4th dynasty. He believes that there is no way the Egyptians could have built the pyramids around 2600 BC. You would agree that this is a provoking opinion. When Hancock first postulated his theory, the question on everyone's mind was, where is the evidence to back his claim? In response, he argues that the ancient Egyptians couldn't have achieved the top-notch precision and astronomical alignments of the pyramids. He believes the Egyptians didn't have the technological advancement to construct such architectural mastery. From his point of view, the design, construction, and geological alignment of the pyramids are proof that a much more advanced civilization made them. In Hancock's view, this civilization existed thousands of years before the ancient Egyptians, and they left behind the pyramids, which the Egyptians inherited and received credit for. Have you begun to doubt your history lessons? Wait, Hancock isn't done yet, as he comes with another dicey piece of evidence. The geographical location of the pyramids has cosmological significance because the monuments are located at the exact position of Earth's land masses. Do you consider this a coincidence? Hancock doesn't. He believes there is a correlation between the location of the pyramids and those who built them. Furthermore, he brings to light that the pyramids' measurements correlate with astronomical constants such as the speed of light. We might have to agree with Hancock on this one because this is a mystery that we cannot explain. In addition, Hancock is against the notion that the pyramids were merely tombs for pharaohs. He believes that the monuments had more purpose than we know of, but it is possible that they served a spiritual or metaphysical function. The lost city of Atlantis is a tale that has been told for centuries. It started with Plato, who spoke about a lost civilization that existed 9,000 years before his time. This mysterious city has also grabbed Hancock's attention, and he has devoted his time to researching the city through the lens of ancient philosophers and based on his interpretation of archaeological evidence. Ultimately, he developed a theory that has stirred up debates in recent years. As usual, Hancock postulates an unconventional theory about the existence, location, and demise of this long-lost civilization. Although many scientists considered Plato's description of Atlantis an allegory, Hancock is towing the opposite direction. He believes that Plato's description of the mythical Atlantis civilization is a factual report of a prehistoric advanced civilization. This theory is better explained in his book Fingerprints of the Gods, where he suggests that the city of Atlantis was located in present-day Antarctica. He believes that the icy continent was once a temperate land before a cataclysmic event, most likely a shift in the Earth's crust, caused it to move from its polar position, resulting in freezing and disappearance between layers of life. Thus, this was how Atlantis was lost to history. One of the pieces of evidence that this theory rests on is the Piri Reis map, a 16th-century map of the world that appears to show the northern part of Antarctica, which was relatively unknown until modern seismic surveys. Hancock doesn't stop here. He has connected the story of Atlantis with various cultures worldwide. According to Hancock, there were survivors from that catastrophe, and these persons dispersed to different areas of the world to start a new life. As expected, these survivors took with them advanced knowledge, which they infused into the architecture and meteorology of ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians, Mayans, and Sumerians. Hancock argues that the sudden rise of some ancient civilizations is proof that they had incorporated advanced knowledge into their culture, which can be traced back to the survivors of Atlantis. Hancock's theory is still not accepted in academic circles, as it has been subject to several controversies and debates. Nevertheless, this theory is stealthily rewriting some historical accounts and has forced many to question the traditional narrative of chronological human history. Having spent years investigating ancient civilizations, Hancock decided to extend his research to potential extraterrestrial influences on Earth. For a long time, scientists and philosophers have toyed with the idea of extraterrestrial life existing somewhere in the universe that we don't know of. Hancock seems to have also towed this path. However, he is not outrightly ascertaining the existence of these extraterrestrial beings. Instead, he has asked some interesting questions about ancient knowledge and technologies, and if we are to read the handwriting on the wall correctly, he is suggesting that there is more to what conventional history has taught us. Hancock is taking us back to re-examine the technological leap of ancient civilizations like the Egyptians and Mayans, and this exploration questions the knowledge advancement of these ancient cities. According to Hancock, there is no linear explanation for the technological advancement experienced in some of these ancient civilizations. What fascinates Hancock is the sudden appearance of architectural and astronomical developments in those societies, such as the precise construction of the Egyptian pyramids and the sophisticated observatories of the Mayans. Hancock argues that the rapid advancements and knowledge found in ancient civilizations seem out of place for their respective eras, suggesting they might have received help from an external source. He delves deeper into this question in his book Supernatural, Meetings with the Ancient Teachers of Mankind, where he posits that these civilizations could have had contact with otherworldly beings. While this may sound like a fairy tale to some, Hancock believes there could be a kernel of truth. He elaborates on his theory by proposing that these contacts may have occurred through altered states of consciousness, potentially induced by psychoactive plants. He points to the recurring motifs in ancient art across different cultures, such as therianthropes, part human, part animal figures, as evidence. To Hancock, these motifs are not mere coincidences but are likely visual records of encounters with supernatural beings, including gods, spirits, and possibly extraterrestrial entities. Hancock's curiosity has also extended to biblical accounts, particularly the mysteries surrounding the Ark of the Covenant. His research, documented in The Sign and the Seal, explores the possibility that this ancient artifact was not lost as widely believed. The Ark of the Covenant, a gold-plated relic housing the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, was said to have disappeared when the Babylonians invaded Jerusalem and the Holy Temple in 587 BC. However, Hancock suggests an alternative narrative, arguing that the Ark was removed from the temple before the invasion and taken to Ethiopia for safekeeping. Drawing from historical, religious, and Ethiopian Christian traditions, Hancock claims the Ark has been preserved in a chapel in Aksum, northern Ethiopia. According to him, the Ark is guarded by a monk who is the only person allowed to see it, making verification of its existence impossible. But Hancock doesn't stop there. He speculates that the Ark might have been an ancient technological device, possibly an electrical capacitor capable of storing charge. If true, this would imply that the ancient Jews possessed advanced technological knowledge, fundamentally reshaping our understanding of their civilization. Another fascinating theory Hancock has put forward is his sacred geometry hypothesis, which suggests that certain geometrical shapes and patterns hold spiritual or cosmic significance. He proposes that ancient civilizations had an understanding of sacred geometry and used it to enhance their spiritual and intellectual development. This is evident, he argues, in the architectural designs and artworks found at historical sites such as the Pyramids of Giza, the Luxor Temple, and Stonehenge. Hancock believes that these structures align with fundamental cosmic energies, which may have facilitated altered states of consciousness and spiritual experiences. The precise alignments, proportions, and patterns in these monuments, he argues, are not coincidental but demonstrate a deep understanding of geometry's cosmic implications. He also links this theory to his broader hypothesis of a prehistoric lost civilization, suggesting that knowledge of sacred geometry was passed down through generations and integrated into various cultural practices. Hancock's theories on the Sphinx and its age have sparked considerable debate within the field of Egyptology. While mainstream academics attribute the construction of the Sphinx to ancient Egyptians around 2500 BC, Hancock, working with Robert Bauval, argues that the monument is much older. He believes it was built during the Age of Leo, approximately 12,500 years ago, based on the Earth's precession cycle. This cycle, which spans about 26,000 years, causes constellations to appear to rise just before the spring equinox over millennia. Hancock posits that the Sphinx was intentionally designed to gaze at the constellation of Leo during the pre-dawn of the spring equinox, marking the age of Leo. Supporting this claim, he points to the significant erosion on the Sphinx, which he attributes to prolonged rainfall, a phenomenon that last occurred at the end of the Ice Age, about 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. Despite the lack of mainstream acceptance, Hancock's theory has encouraged further scrutiny of historical narratives and inspired people to question established archaeological interpretations. Hancock's theories have undoubtedly stirred controversy among archaeologists, scientists, and Egyptologists, but they have also found resonance with a growing number of people. His work has prompted deeper investigations into ancient civilizations, inspiring both scholars and enthusiasts to re-examine historical narratives. While Hancock's claims remain speculative and face considerable skepticism, they open the door to new possibilities and challenge us to think critically about the mysteries of our past. As more unconventional theories emerge, the pursuit of understanding our shared history continues to evolve.